Welcome back everyone to Let's Play Supreme Ruler, Ultimate, episode number 11. Research Simulator continues. We're going to jump right off into it. Speed up. I did conduct a trade agreement with Great Britain off camera. That should be our rubber coming in. And it is. So just to keep us so we don't have to focus too much on that. And we're doing good. I mean, we're almost over 1 million, which is a great stockpile. We're gathering up a lot of uranium, and believe me, this is actually really important. We're never going to see uranium prices below $10 once they go over it. So, trying to take in as much of this as possible is important. Now, it's not really important to keep buying more and more and more, because actually there's nothing available on the market. The world production right now is probably very, very small. So, we can see that the only producers of it right now is the Belgium Congo. I think India will join that list soon, but so in the meantime, we continue to support Pakistan. We continue to progress in our research. I was actually debating whether or not to take off engineer motorized. I think I'm going to keep it on because it is nice to have a slight upgrade to the current engineers we have. The funny thing about the current engineers that we have, I don't know I think it still exists in this game. Yeah, so this engineer is 5 million in maintenance, and this engineer is 1 million in maintenance. This is 70 plus in the top left, and this is 30 plus. I don't understand. So basically there's two different engineer models, and I think that basically they're ultimately the same, but I think their stats are the same, but one of them is just cheaper. Alright, so we have the F-106 Delta Dart. That is fantastic. It's going to be the supremacy fighter for us for quite a while. Still a little bit low on unemployment. We need a little bit more of it before I can really convince myself it's okay to throw down tons of rubber plantations. I love that West Germany is giving me rubber, although I don't know how or why, but we'll accept it. So, okay, who went this time? Egypt. Okay, so Egypt is continuing its spiral. Doesn't really matter if we condemn whatever. I mean, let's just don't do anything. Greece and Australia. Okay, interesting. Now, in one of my test games with this, Greece actually went through a coup at some point in the 60s. So, we lose them as an ally. Coal. They're requesting like nearly twice the amount. It's not really that good. Okay, so this is actually an important one for us to keep up, the elections. We won't be declining those. And we got naval nuclear reactors. So I never had this queued up before, but I did actually add it to the queue for us to do. Wait a second. Is it already in the queue? Is it? I think it's super carriers. Huh? No. Naval nuclear reactors. Oh, maybe it doesn't lead to anything immediately. Let's just double check this. So, naval nuclear reactors. I don't know if it's in transportation or not. Let's check here. Yeah, transportation. There it is. Okay, so it does need. That's confusing. These are supercarriers, but these are nuclear supercarriers. So it does lead to nuclear carriers, but yeah, we need supercarriers first. And I didn't originally have these queued up, or at least this one queued up, but since right now we're kind of in this time period where we actually need the extra options, we're sitting low on available options, so we should be throwing anything we want or we will want in the future into the mix. And that's why I decided to keep the engineers that we're doing now. M75, not a bad option, frankly. It's pretty good. Mainly what you're looking for, I mean, these things are certainly very important to weigh. These three. This is the in the open fighting trifecta. Soft, hard, and then defense against either. I guess that doesn't make sense. Well, it's fine to abstract it, right? We're abstracting ground defense against both soft and hard. Although in theory, I guess you would want to split that into two different things. Something that is certain units are going to be very good against hard attacks versus soft attacks. But anyway, it doesn't matter. I guess that's already abstracted in the attack value and making them either soft or hard. Anyway, the thing I like to look for with infantry though is, especially if they're not hard targets, especially if they're soft targets, this to me is the most important value, even more important than these values. Although again, I still don't know how the combat actually works. I believe that the city combat probably takes an average of this with this if you're doing it, because otherwise city attack, I mean, does it just throw out the window any of the hard or soft combat, like strength? Does it just ignore the fact that a target is hard or soft in a city? And maybe you can justify that. Say it's such close quarters that it doesn't matter anymore. One downside with the M75 is it doesn't have the amphibious stuff, and a lot of the mechanized units from here on in for infantry will be amphibious. The one exception to that is actually going to be one of the units we want to use, which is the M2 Bradley. So we'll accept Portugal and Australia. Still supporting Pakistan, although I don't think they're going to come around anytime soon. Belgium and New Zealand. I like it when all these native countries pair off. Kind of adds a security blanket. We're getting these countdown, okay, election's coming, but our what's it called? Our domestic support, or what is it called? Domestic approval is pretty high, 32%. It's high enough that we're many points up in the election. I'm not concerned. Even the fact that you have 100% military approval means even if you lose the election, you'll just do a coup immediately. Otherwise, if you lose the election and you don't have the military support, you do lose. That is game over. So we'll decline this. Again, I forgot that coal is in such bad shape for me in this game. We'll accept that and that. And before I decline, I mean, it's actually kind of nice to accept from Finland because we want to maintain really good relations with them. I should be remembering that. 2.6, come on, let's break 2.7. This must be the elections again. 70 days left. Well, that's plenty of time. Mainly, we want to make sure that we're ready to go. Oh, so we really are one short on something to do. Let me pause real fast. I want to make sure that we actually queue up anything which is interesting to do. I don't think the patent is worth it. What is our easy 8? I should have it memorized right now. I want to say 1020. Let's see if that's right. I'm pretty sure it is. Well, we chose anti-tank. Whoops. Yeah, 1020. So 1020, 1810. And this is supposed to be offering us 1720, 917. Well, it has much higher, I think, ground defense rating than the other one. But, it's not very good on fuel, 2-1. That's not the worst. I mean, I think the M103 is a bigger offender. Yeah, it is. It's 2.5 to 1. And it's slower. But, I mean, honestly, the M103 is still a really good tank because of its ability to fight in urban areas, close quarters, and fight very effectively there. So you can use it in the plains, you can use it in the cities. It's really nice. The reason why I'm trying to look through these options is because you also have to pay attention to some... this is one actually mechanic in the game I dislike because it's not consistent. You always want to be consistent with game design. Some tanks upgrade only if you have the previous tank. Some, not just tanks, some units. Some aircraft only upgrade if you have the previous unit. An example, the BF-110C needs the BF-110B if you're playing Germany in the World War II scenario. Another example for us as the United States, let me just keep going while we're talking. The M2, sorry, Bradley. What is the Bradley? Is it... yeah, the M2. God, I just blanked for a moment. The M2 A1 Bradley needs the M2. The M2 A2 Bradley needs the M2 A1. So you have to research the predecessor, which makes it a bit more expensive because you're not just researching the tech and then getting something. You have to research the tech and the predecessor, even if you don't want the predecessor. We're not going to build any M2 Bradleys. But if we want to build any of the later ones, we have to research it. And this makes sense to me. I mean, actually, it makes sense either way. You can say that the M2 Bradley, the design was shot down, and here they came back with another, which was another design, and this is the M2A1. Alright, so we're like way behind on options now. We have 2 blanks. Let's just consider what we want to do. Oh, no, we don't have these options yet. Carriers, I don't think it's worth it. Unless, did we get the... No. The Iwo Jima is a pretty good carrier to grab. And I was debating about these. And this one still is... I mean, just because that range is insane, but it's actually way outside of its own range. 106... And this is at 44, and the other one, the Boston itself, is at 44 as well. Okay. These, I'm getting closer to picking. Escorts don't make sense. Patrols, we don't have a good one coming up for a while. The Viking, no. ASW, and in my opinion, the patrol ships, not worth it to buy in general. Yeah, and nothing here. The only thing we could do is get a transport, and you know, I was thinking a lot about this. Let's get a Globemaster 2. They're just really efficient in terms of fuel usage. The worst thing about them is that they're slow. And, I mean, coupled with that, I guess it's too... I would say they're easy to be... It's easy for them to get shot down. I don't really care that they're slow. The reason why I care about that is because it's more time over enemy territory. But let's go ahead and get it. Actually, what the heck? I thought we have the flying boxcar. Or do we have the C-119A? What do we have right now? We have the C... What? Come on, I know we have... Okay, I'm just crazy. Oh, maybe we have the C-114 Skymasters, and that's what I think? That's what I thought. I thought we had... We should be in reserve, right? Nope. They are actually deployed. Transports at the bottom. So we have, what are these? C-119C flying boxcars. I am not crazy. We have this unit. Okay, well, that's strange that we have them without researching it. It only has cargo capacity of 114. If we're going to get anything, we might as well get the Globemaster 2 because it has just as good stats. It's slightly faster. It's slightly easier or harder to take down. Yeah, basically in every way it's better. So let's go ahead and just grab that. That's only one slot for us. Oh, we could get the C-130A. But does the C-130A require, or the later models require the C-130A? That's the big question. Alright, Super Constellation might be an even better option. Okay, it's 355 versus 504. Wow, that's good. 120 versus 105. Since these things will be around for a pretty long time, I do actually consider the maintenance. And the maintenance is high enough. So if it's one unit and it's only $1 million, or if you're only going to buy one and it's like 1 or 2 million, forget about it. But this is 20 million, which is not a big deal. We're not going to buy enough of these to matter. So 1813 for its ability to defend itself. 1812. This carries less, much longer range, and faster. Really, I think these are... It's splitting hairs. They're both 1915 designs. This is actually one of those that I should have, at the end of the last episode, I should have posted this, or as a posed it as a question to the audience, who could act as like the members of Congress. And I can still act as veto power or whatever, the majority of Congress, but some of them could, your votes can count, basically. Globemaster 2 or Super Constellation. They both seem really good to me. I could look at them all day, really. But since I can't make a decision, let's look at the patrols. Oh, okay, well, this is a no-brainer then. This thing has a range of 235 kilometers, one of the longest constellations. One of the longest patrol distances, viewing distances. We currently have a Mercator, which kind of looks like a Neptune. So this is 113, the Mercator is 126. The Mariners, 126. I thought we had one with 140. 113? Huh, maybe not. And then those Bearcats are anti-air. Okay, well, then I guess the decision is really easy. We go with the Constellation. Yeah, it's a very long range, decent speed. You know, relatively not too difficult to take down, frankly. But the good news is it has such long range. You don't have to get so close, and you still will be getting very good visibility of all the enemy targets. So let's add that one to the queue, which is the should be the 2. I guess they already jumped in. Wait, 12. What? Did I not add? What was the other thing I was trying to add? I talked so long in circles that I already forgot. Wasn't it? Okay, well, the B-52D, this is a great aircraft as well. Let's add this one. The reason why I'm adding this is because it's better than the B. The only thing the B does better than the D is have the ability, the capability to bomb naval targets, but it's worse in load, it's worse in attack characteristics. So I should actually show this for you. So there, that's higher, this is down, this is higher. Maintenance is lower, so 157 versus 174. So pretty much in every way, the B-52D is better. So our labor shortage, 2.6, darn it. Yeah, we're getting very close to this election, but we're way ahead. So we'll continue to take the rubber now. I saw one thing in a different game of mine. I'm kind of curious if it's still true. Is there a agriculture here? Yeah, it is. So there's an agriculture, a farm thing here in a position where there's no agriculture. So it's actually useless. So we'll scrap that. I wonder how many more times that happens throughout the US. So, okay, unit design complete. We finished the M103 Conqueror. Actually worth building. So, worth building. Even I would say let's just go ahead and build some right away. We'll get 20. So not even our entire production queue. And another thing we should be doing is shutting these down in between operating. So we can go over to, well, speaking of aircraft, we actually have to start producing some. Let's get 20 of these as well. Oops, 24. Well, fine. We'll get 24 because I accidentally did that. Japan and France, that's a good solid alliance. Election almost here. We're at 32%, which is good. They want to give me petroleum for a good rate. Yep, we'll take that. Alright, so we're not going to want to shut down anything here. We want to build some extra naval production, eventually at least. Right now, the Barracuda, well, it's not bad. The next ones we're going to be able to get beyond the Barracuda are just going to be a much better, so we'll wait. Still 2.7, huh? Metal ore at a good rate. And metal ore. What do we have? Through hole. Okay, so that, I think this is actually really important. We have to make sure that this is available. It is 11 out of 13. So yeah, this one will jump right in. Man, we're still short. I'm surprised that I can't figure out something to buy with the extra. I've always thought about getting either the M56, let's see, 1430. Is that the one I get? Yeah. So getting the M56 is kind of fun because it's airdroppable, so you can drop it with some paratroopers. Oh, and that's another thing I'm gonna have to do is we're gonna want to scrap or actually sell some of our paratroopers, some of our Marines. We're gonna want a few Marines because every now and then you're gonna want to do crossings, and we don't yet have an amphibious option for our infantry. But we'll have that as soon as we get the IOF-2. The Bradley is not amphibious, but the IOF-2 is, and we'll get both designs. Okay, so we still aren't. I guess we'll just go ahead and look while we're. Oh yeah, this would be good. Let's get some air launched. What do we have here? This is 500,000 uranium. That's quite a lot. Wow. Oh, we don't have the option to build this yet. Actually, it would be worth to get. It's pretty good damage for only 140,000. Interesting. Well, if we went with a nuclear option, this is a pretty good effect for only 31,000. So 1750 for 44, 1750 for 31. Yeah, that's a pretty good option. Let's go ahead and research it. Oh, yes, but we have silo launch now. The Thor, not a good option, only 2,400. But sub-launch, this is actually nice. Well, 600 is not what we want. We could get the Regulus one, but 62,000 for 2040. That's not terrible. It's about right. Mostly what you'd be using it for is that, oh, okay, so the US or the UK has now tested the atomic bomb. Congratulations, we'll support that. Or maybe we'll just hit okay. We're still trying to drag in some people into the folds. Okay, multiple rocket launchers, that's only useful for West Germany, not for us, but 32. Did we get this election done yet? Egypt's still falling apart. Okay, election victory. 35 to 27, 36 to 27, something like that. Outstanding victory. Well, let's stop supporting Pakistan for the time being. Well, I don't want to pour money in needlessly. We'll let the relations deteriorate a little bit. And somebody already mentioned it. The reason why we're not able to do things well with them is because basically the civilian population do not like each other. And there's ways to manipulate this. I think that gradually it's supposed to... Like, look how quickly it dropped. That's because the two ratings seek to move towards each other. Diplomatic ratings try to move towards what the civilian rating is. And much, much, much more slowly, the civilian rating will creep towards the diplomatic. That's my understanding, at least. And I probably should dive into the mechanics of that at some point to understand it better. Seems worthwhile to know. Because a lot of the game, I mean, this is a strong geopolitical simulator background to it, right? So it's important to know the geopolitical side of things. Like how to improve relations with another country. We do it the simple way, which is just support their government. One button. But it doesn't help with alliances all the time because the people don't want the alliance, so he does not choose to accept one or even entertain the possibility with us. Denmark and West Germany. We do want West Germany to become allies with pretty much everyone. They don't start with many alliances, if any. Modern sub-prototypes. Surely this will have unlocked some other options. At least it'll unlock something we can do here. Yes. Okay, so we can get the Nautilus, the Skipjack, and the Greyback. The Greyback is our first nuclear, well, I would say our first nuclear missile option. Reaction time for every submarine is low. I have not seen one that is not low. If you know of one, please let me know. But 1810, 360, 460 versus 1810, 360, 460. Okay, well, you're making it a little bit easier on me. The Nautilus is 205, the Skipjack is 212. Although, frankly, I don't think that's... Not really sure. I just had the idea that the Nautilus was very quiet, actually, and slow, and 41 versus 30. I feel like they have these exactly reversed, but I don't know. I'm just going off my memory here. But I thought, wasn't the Nautilus the one that was eventually completely gutted and refitted for special projects like wiretapping? See, that's where my brain is taking me. I might be forgetting the real name of the submarine, but if that's the case, it was slower and very quiet. I mean, maybe I'm thinking of... Okay, the Narwhal? Maybe I'm thinking of the Narwhal. I don't know. Anyway, so based on these two, this one costs 600,000 uranium. This one costs 500,000. 95 million versus 64 million. Well, the Nautilus is faster. It does require more uranium, but uranium is just pennies on the dollar right now. It's just doesn't cost much at all. Has all the same stats. Doesn't have nuclear launch capability, but frankly, we're going to save that for dedicated submarines. These don't need it because the only thing that they can launch are nukes. So we want them to either be attack submarines. You know, everything in the U.S. Navy is supposed to have its role, and we've seen that with the Ohio versus the Los Angeles class. It's the quintessential division of submarine combat. Ohio's, although some Ohio's I know were then turned into slow attack. What did they call them? I forget. Some Ohios were actually taken out of the ballistic role and meant to actually work somewhat as an attack submarine. I don't know. Anyway, what are we going to do? We're going to go with the Nautilus. This will be our first nuclear submarine option. And it's a fun one to have. It's fun to have a nuclear sub. So, get that. Same two options here. Although they might make... I don't think they make sense to get, frankly. So we're going to leave those all on the table. Yeah, I don't really like that. Really don't. So this is really interesting. 10 kiloton nuclear bomb, but I guess an upgraded version. So this is the 55 version. This one does 1750 in damage. This one does 1750 in damage for less. Yeah, so this is the 49. So this is actually not a bad idea to get these 10 kiloton nuclear bombs and then equip them on the B-52s, which we're currently getting. Okay, how is our rubber doing, by the way? Good, we're over 1 million. Probably time to pester the UK for another agreement. So we're making progress. 1952 now. They have a good amount of rubber. Can probably squeeze out another deal. It does look like it's the case, yes. I went a little lighter on it this time since we are over 1 million, and that was a big benchmark. Alright, we are going to go ahead and, you know what, we are going to just full on try to approach South Africa. I don't know why that they don't like me. They didn't like me in my other games in the Cold War start, but we're going to try to win them over this time. And I guess it doesn't really matter. Frankly, I guess it doesn't matter at all because at some point I think they go to war with Portuguese Angola. I'm not sure if it's I think it is a historical event. So trying to be too close to them, did I in fact make good? So, oh my gosh. Well, heavens. They don't want anything to do with us. Which, oh, okay, I get the message. Coal. Well, it is Israel. Yeah, it's Netherlands. By the way, did I get the full agreement with Israel? Are we everything? Yeah. 32. Man, still 2.6. Still waiting for the unemployment to go up. Good, yes. And yes. That's Saarland, of all people. They'll be merging with West Germany, I think in the maybe around 1960. So, this is nice. It's a nice, peaceful game. I would say that this is what's really enjoyable about it, is to play like this. Okay, but let's get to work selling some of our paratroopers. That's right. I want to sell some paratroopers. I actually want to sell my Marines eventually too. Whoa! Speaking of, yeah, we have Conquerors now available. Let me first take care of this research breakthrough. Vaccine improvements. Well, I should have been monitoring this because we do want to know if that leads to anything. I don't know if it does. It does. It leads to polio vaccine. We still have a missing research slot here. It's a mystery to me what we might want to do with that. Definitely not as strategic now that we have the B-36, we have the B-52. The B-52 I'm going to leave in reserve for strategic bombing, so we're going to equip it like this. So you can see there's actually a bunch of peacemakers in reserve, and we could add them as platforms. This removes them from the possibility of being on the map, though. So they can only be either in the strategic targeting pool as a strategic option. By strategic option, let's not mince words. What we mean is we want them to go nuke things. So they can either be in the nuke group or they can be part of the normal bombers. Peacemakers, they're much better. I mean, they're just devastating on the map as normal strategic bombers. Basically, effectively serving as tactical bombers, really. They're really good at that. So that's what we want. Eventually we'll have the B-52s here, and we will add all of those as our assigned platforms. And then we'll get to that. So, clear this. Yeah, so we were looking at research, though. Polio, and that means we still have... Yeah, this kind of missing something or other. We don't know what yet we want. I I guess I could just get the Boston as a... I don't like it though. I like it, it's good, but it's not good enough. It's not worth it. And if I'm going to research options, I might as well research something like the Greyback to have the possibility of using a nuclear submarine. Not that I think we will, but at least it makes sense to have one in our back pocket. But knowing that I'm not going to build that ever, because I will get a better one. Well, I guess you can say the same thing about the submarine, but I was talking about the Boston. Yeah, I kind of talked myself out of the Boston, too. Infantry options are usually a little bit easier to deal with. And plus, their research times are usually a lot less as well. So, especially because I'm not sure what this might unlock. Maybe, oh, okay, wait, we got 24. Delta Darts. They're all ready. We need to be getting to selling our... Okay, unit complete, motorized infantry. Okay, just making it worse. I guess we're going to save money in the meantime. And that reminds me, actually, one thing I want to do is go ahead and ask... I think I want to increase treasury as well. No, I'm just going to leave it as is. That's fine. Okay, yeah, we're good. And in fact, we should probably shut down all these things. If you want to min-max, this is the right thing to do. What were we building? Only 20? Okay, let's get 10 more. It's a good tank. We'll get 10 more. Good. And we'll shut those down when they're done. So I do want to get some submarines, but we'll wait for the new technology to be done. I really want to get the B-52s. Is 48 enough peacemakers? I think it is. It's quite a few. 6 groups of 7. Yeah, I think that's enough. It's nice to have a few backups, though. Let's just get 2 more. So we're probably going to lose some eventually. Norway wants military supply. I don't know why they always offer such outrageously terrible deals for that, but they always do. I don't know if I've ever seen a deal for military goods which was favorable to me as the nation building the military goods. We'll take the rubber. Domestic approval holding steady at 32. I think 24 Delta Darts is more than enough. We're going to get the F4 Phantom pretty soon. And although it's slower, I think it has longer range than the Delta Dart, which is not saying much considering the Delta Dart is one of our one of our lower range. It's not one of our slower, it's our fastest interceptor. And I think it's much faster than even the Phantom. But the Phantom has better offensive capability. It can attack things. Maybe it's the same or even... It might even be... No, I think it is slightly higher attack rating, but at 3 times the distance. Maybe around 44 kilometers. And this is always nice when you have all of your options visible here. And one reason not to turn off, one reason to leave the show excluded and show obsolete designs in here, although it does clutter it a bit. You got to see all the different things you have. We still have 2 Bearcats? What? Okay, Bearcat recon planes are fine, but not Bearcats. They should be at the very top. Okay, they must be in reserve. Yeah, there we go. 2 Bearcats. Gone. Haha. Alright, I really should do this off camera, right? There's the Delta Darts in all their glory. And these are probably the Corsairs. Yep, those are acceptable. They've passed. We'll be using those until probably at least through the 50s. And then the Peacemakers. Perfect. Now we have our patrol craft. And then, you know, one thing we ought to be doing is building some transport planes. I believe we've unlocked the KC whatever. Yeah. We're going to get... Let's get 8 of these. They're very expensive. They're very fuel inefficient, as we already mentioned. But they're also very good at the job. If you don't mind wasting a little bit of fuel, and they do waste a lot of fuel, they're exceptional. So, it's good to keep that in mind. Alright, we're getting some missiles. Should we... Should we be building those even? I'm not sure. We got another technology. Let's just get through this first. Yep. And always Pakistan. And another design. Okay, the constellations. So we'll get a couple constellations while we're at it as well. I'm thinking 4. 1 for every corner. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So maybe 5. Let's get 6 so we can replace one just in case one of them goes down. So they're pretty good as far as range goes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What was this? An actual research polio. Okay, so it's just going to leave another thing blank. Now you may be wondering what is going to happen with all these blank things. Well, the good news is, whenever we have anything we actually do want to research, one of these will unlock a whole load of things. And is it silicon transistors? Well, that does unlock a lot, but that's not what I was thinking of. Improved carrier construction, no, that doesn't do much. I don't know which one it is. It must be the next one after this. Yeah, okay, transistor-based computers. Once we get this, it's like... This is the gatekeeper. We're going to have a lot of options unlocked as soon as that comes around. So we just need this as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we have to finish this tech, and then we have to research this whole tech. We're a ways away from that, but in the meantime, we can just research anything else we want. Yeah, so one of the things I was talking about with that whole BF-110B versus BF-110C, or like the M2 Bradley versus M2A1, is I wonder if the patent, I've seen a lot of different patents here. There's the something, the M47, but then there's the M48. And I wonder if you research this, doesn't seem good enough to give it a shot. So high yield nuclear warheads. Does this actually mean we want to research anything in this category? So we have the Matador, we have the Phoenix. That's very short range, never mind. We don't even have an option for, okay, what's JV2? That is really terrible. It's from 1944. Ugh, I wish we could do it, but we can't. It's just not a good enough option. We do have the AGM-86 now. So it takes 141,000, but it does deliver it at some range. 100 stealth, which is good. Size 6. 2790. Okay, pause. 2790. So 141 gets you 2790. This gets you 2310. Yeah, I am kind of a fan. Let's get this 10 kiloton nuke. Because we can actually carry a ton of those. Like the B-52 can carry 288 size total. The maximum missile size is 24. So what is that? 24 times 12? But if this is size 4, then we can just carry 48 of them. Which is funny to think if you carried 48 10 kiloton nuclear bombs, but we can do it. So, yeah, when you think about it that way, one B-52D is devastating. What was this research? Particle beam focusing. I'm assuming that we have queued up whatever we would be able to queue up from that, which is nothing. Okay, fine. And I think I am going to get this AGM-86. I think I am going to get it. Yeah, okay, let's do it. I think it's much better than this. Yeah, that's very short. Okay, yeah, we want something which is air-launched. It's nice to have something. Let's go back over to our missile production, which has just been completely inactive this entire time. And now, yeah, see these old 10 kiloton bombs do 1500. What is the new one going to do? Don't tell me 1500. Yeah, 1750. Okay, so they've improved the quality slightly. It's not a huge difference, but we have the research slots, so it's really suffering. Maybe we should just go ahead and boost this a little bit. And let's actually make sure all these are kind of high. That one's good. That's good. Environmental rating. Could probably boost this a little bit. Family subsidy is probably very high. Yeah, we are definitely pushing that up as much as we can. Yeah, that's good. And cultural is actually slightly below, but we'll just take that up to exactly where it should be. Maybe slightly higher. How about 3270? What does that do for you? 319, 327. Yeah, that's fine. And we made a research breakthrough, silicon transistors. I assume that... Okay, yeah, look at all of them fit. Superconductive theory, transistor. What was the last one? Yeah, fiber optics. They all jumped in right away. Hey, we're up to 10. We're really getting down there. Just so many different slots. And what do we build now? We got the M103s, another 10. That's nice. Still 2.6. I don't understand what's going to take to get this unemployment fixed. We're okay on rubber, so it's not like we really need them for that, which is normally what I use them for. But let's also make sure I know what time it is. Oh my gosh, 41 minutes. It's already been 41 minutes? My goodness, time flies when you're having fun. And I just love this research side. I mean, the fact that we have just open slots, whatever we want, we can think about doing. It's really fun. Improved carrier construction, that should add something. Is there any other options? No. Okay, so whatever that was, whatever it did, it improved carrier. No, steam catapults should be next. I don't know. I thought that steam catapults was the next one. Oh, it's already in there. Okay, good. So it was queued. Woo. More rubber. And we'll just go ahead and call this video to a close here. So another peaceful reign of time. What was it? We're in 1953. We made it pretty far. We finished those peacemakers. Gonna leave the things online because I think the B-52 should be coming up. Yeah, 63 more days. And we'll leave those naval ones online because we'll get the Nautilus in 21 days. And I think we'll build maybe 6 Nautilus. Not a lie. Get a few of them. They're just not as good as the Los Angeles class, or even the ones that come after this, which is, an obvious statement that the technology which comes improves us. Sure, but I don't know. I feel like the Nautilus is just not. The 205 is pretty good. What is the current? What's the Barracuda at? Yeah, 178. So the 205 is a pretty significant jump. 380, 448 versus 380, 448. So it's actually worse against other enemy submarines. But 460. So 415, 390. That maybe that 415, 390. Yeah, so that's a lot different. So this one may be better against enemy submarines, but it also would probably be killed much faster. Mexico. Well, sure. Government upheaval in Colombia. They do not appear to like us, the new government. That's unfortunate. And we finished the constellations. Domestic price is too high for timber. This is important. We might have to micromanage the timber situation for a bit. And there's the Nautilus. Let's quickly add. Well, there she is. Let's just get 4. We did research them, so it seems like a waste not to get any. But I don't think we need more than 4. And our research situation is really dire. We really could use anything. So if anybody has recommendations as to what to research, I am all ears. I think we need some more things to be put on this menu. None of these really make sense. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe this Boston is better than I think. Feel free to let me know. I mean, this Thunder Chief is a pretty good one, but since I know the next one is much better, I have a hard time justifying it. And just look at these attack values compared to the 240 or 230 and 200 of the Peacemaker. Like, how could I ever build this? How could I ever justify it? Yeah, so I'm afraid to say I won't be building that. And all of these are inferior to the Delta Dagger, which I already have. The Demon, I guess you could make an argument for this one because it can fit on airplanes. It can fit on carriers. But alright, but before we go over 50 minutes, which is really too much, let's call this video to a close. So, thanks for watching, and until the next episode, take care.